Yo, what is the deal, everybody? How you guys doing? It's your boy Western Conference here, back at you with another video here. Maxx Crosby's back. He's back, man, and he's going to be in full effect. He's going to wreak some havoc, man. So we all seen this tweet, or I hope most of you saw this tweet, right? It was with him and the Undertaker, you know, and it quotes right here: "Everything happens for a reason. Believe nothing you hear and half of what you see. I'm a Raider. I'm back. Run that So, I mean, he's back and he's motivated everybody. And I'm telling you right now that failed trade with the Ravens, it's definitely going to light a passion and more fire under Max to prove everybody wrong. And it was a trade that was supposed to redefine the AFC, right? But it's dead. And Maxx Crosby is staying in the silver and black. And honestly, the rest of the NFL, they should be terrified because after the Ravens, they backed out and they had cold feet and they were acting like cowards and saying allegedly he failed the physical, right? Max isn't just back. He's got a massive chip on his shoulder, and we're talking about FU motivation. And I love this post that he tweeted, with the Undertaker. I'm a big wrestling fan too. I don't really watch it that much anymore, but Undertaker, he's old school. That's when I was watching wrestling back in the day. But yeah, so Baltimore was saying, that they backed out because of the failed physical, right? But they knew what they were getting with Max, and they just had buyers remorse on giving up first 2-round picks for a 28-year-old coming off a injury, and immediately, they pivoted to Trey Hendrickson, instead, right? And check out this here. This is a great clip. Let me hit play for you guys.
The other day, I got a new team making a graphic about Maxx Crosby's going to the Washington. He's going this, and then you start seeing that shit. You're like, damn, like, am I tripping? Like, you have that thought in the back of your head, but I'm like, it just goes back to the same thing. Like, I'm a fucking Raider. Like, I know this shit is hard, and I know the fucking hard days are fucking hard, but it's gonna mean that much more when we win. And like guys like Aaron Donald, it took him 9 years to get that Super Bowl ring. No matter what, if I went to some really good team and contender and like win a Super Bowl, like that would be the greatest thing ever. I feel like it just wouldn't feel the same if I did on another team. I want to be here and win here.
So you got to get fired up hearing that, right? I mean, that's just something, if you're a Raider fan, those are words you definitely want to hear. And I know, and I'll be honest, I was the one who was saying I one of those first round picks too, but I'll go in more depth and detail in that later. But the Raiders, we were set to receive 2 first round picks. And, I just know that Crosby's agent, he said that he's ahead of schedule in his recovery. But let's talk about more about his return and his mentality, right? So why will he be better than ever? So in my opinion, he is recommitted to the Raider way, and he is turning the embarrassment of this failed trade for more fuel for this upcoming 2026 season. Number 2, he has new teammates that were an improvement, and the defense is building the team around him, Nakobe Dean, Quay Walker, and Kwity Paye. That's just to name a few. And Max is operating with a clear mind and laser focus. Shout out to Maxx Crosby on 6 years being sober. And despite the ordeal, Crosby was back at the Raiders facility at 6 a.m. the morning after the trade fell through to continue his rehab. Pardon me. But now that shows, true commitment. He's straight back and, getting to work. And, he's ready to light the NFL on fire. And he remains, the emotional leader and the face of our franchise, and that's essential for mentoring younger players during the current rebuild we have going right now. So despite him, playing through a knee injury, Crosby recorded 10 sacks and a career high 28 tackles for a loss in 15 games in 2025. And he remains arguably the best defensive asset in the league right now. And facing, some concerns over the long-term health of his knee and his age, Crosby is leveraging the situation as even more motivation to prove himself that he is to remain a dominant elite game wrecker in the NFL. So keeping Crosby, that means that the Raiders retain their biggest defensive player for the upcoming 2026 season. And his presence makes this upcoming Raider roster significantly better than it would have been without him. And with the Raiders having already engaged in heavy spending in free agency, a healthy Crosby allows them to feature a potent defense that can contend. And while the failed trade, was awkward, it ultimately solidified the Raiders' defensive foundation, which will be highly motivated for Maxx Crosby this upcoming 2026 season and the entire defense. So the Ravens' rejection, based on his medical status, and that's going to provide him with fresh motivation to silence the critics and also who say that his best days are behind him. I mean, he was he already returned to the Raiders, right? And he's in the facility and he's continuing to rehab, and he's expected to be a holy terror, on the field this fall. So back to my previous video that I made, right? If you guys haven't watched it, I stated, on that video, that I was all for trading Maxx and for acquiring those 2 first-round picks to build for our future, right? And don't get me wrong, and this is just me speaking here. If we were to talk about, hey, would you trade Maxx Crosby right now for 2 first-round picks? I'm saying yes, and that's just me. I'm not speaking for all the other Raider fans out there. I'm doing it because it's really how you set the foundations for a true rebuild, right? And but I don't want anybody to to like get it twisted here and think that I'm a Maxx Crosby hater or I don't want him on the team or anything like that. What I'm trying to say is that if we're going to build for the future, the 2-round picks that traded for him, his value is not going to be higher than now. But I mean, I know it's going to drop lower. Apparently so, because probably the Ravens said he's a damaged goods, right? But I also don't want to trade Maxx Crosby, for a half-eaten bag of potato chips, right? I don't want to give him away for nothing. And yes, I am happy that he stayed, but I also will say that I won't be, upset that if we did, trade him to get some good picks or good assets back. But I definitely don't want to just give him away, on a bum trade deal. And thankfully, the Geno Smith deal, that didn't fall through because thank goodness, right? But yeah, so I just wanted to make this quick video here. I'm going to be continuing to do my live streams, so stay tuned for those. But I just kind of want to get back into the flow of me making videos and posting more videos. The last video that I posted, it's been almost a year since I posted one before that because I took some time off. I've been doing this for about 2 years now, but I had to, just to take some time off because I was so busy. But yeah, Raider Nation, I'm happy, Crosby's back. Yeah. And I just want to see him, prove how dominant that he's going to be. I also have a special treat to my boy A-Train. If you're watching, the next time I do a live, I promise I will speak about that, what I promised to say when I spoke to you. So yeah, brother. Keep an eye out for that too. Well, Raider Nation, thank you guys so much. This is Western Conference here. Hope you guys enjoy the video. Please like, share, and subscribe, and have a wonderful rest of your day. All right, everybody, go Raiders.